put on your kilt and grab your bagpipes. We're headed to Scotland. Known as the best small country in the world, Scotland is home to nearly 800 islands and is located at the northernmost part of Great Britain. I'm Colleen Kelly. Welcome to Scotland. Join my family and me as we visit Scotland's largest city, Glasgow, as well as the rich historic region of the Scottish Highlands. Over the course of our trip, we don traditional Scottish attire, discover new games and dances, try some authentic Scottish food, and maybe even catch a glimpse of the elusive Loch Ness monster. With its beautiful countryside, fascinating history, progressive cities, and unique cuisine, Scotland may be a small country, but it certainly feels larger than life.
Welcome to Scotland!
My name is Colleen Kelly, and when I was single, I lived abroad and traveled the world. Then I became a parent and wondered, how would I ever travel again? So I set out to find a new way to travel and get back to exploring the world family style. I'm here to guide you on how to get the most out of your family vacation. Pack your bags and join me, Colleen Kelly. We're going on vacation. Funding provided by...
Is this my car? State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous!
This is ridiculous! Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
Over the centuries, Scotland has been home to Vikings, Roman soldiers, and powerful rulers, including one of Shakespeare's muses, Macbeth, the Scottish king. Today, Scotland has adapted to the changing times, while also maintaining their traditional heritage. A perfect example can be found in the city of Glasgow, where we begin our trip. Located in Scotland's western lowlands on the River Clyde, Glasgow is home to nearly 600,000 people. The city is known for its Victorian architecture and thriving cultural scene. From the Scottish opera and ballet to the fascinating museums and music scene, Glasgow is an artisan's paradise. We decide to kick off our vacation with a glimpse into the true cogs and wheels of Scotland at the Riverside Transport Museum.
Welcome to the Riverside Museum, Scotland's Museum of Transport and Travel.
The Riverside Museum in Glasgow is home to hundreds of antique automobiles, trains, trolleys, and even boats, each one with its own unique glimpse into the past.
The great thing about the Riverside Museum is it's a transport museum, but it's about the people. It was something our visitors really wanted to find out. More stories, more human stories. So what we've done is in almost every display you'll see, we've incorporated voices, quotes, videos of real people, of being a part of the transport history of the city. Trams like this serve the whole city, so it was going from places that had lots of housing to areas of employment, to mills and factories, but also specifically into the city center. So you can take it to get to the cinemas, get to the parks, get to the football matches, or get to the dance halls for a night out.
It's like history on wheels. And what a way to travel. Imagine people taking something like this to work in the 1900s, or a couple of gals going out dancing for an evening in the roaring 20s. Not only does the museum show the impact of transportation on people's lives, but there's also plenty of interactive fun for the whole family to enjoy.
Which bike is the nearest to its home?
Ding. Guess the one next to it.
This is a little bit too tiny.
This is a little bit too big.
This is how they do it, alright? I always wanted to wear one of these hats. Just move over. It's a woman's hat.
I'll see you later.
Yay! It's too tiny. Okay, I like that one. What do you think?
The Riverside Transportation Museum is proof that sometimes the journey is just as much fun as the destination. Looks like we're taking the trolley home. Next, it's time for a little adventure. Whitewater rafting at Pingston Water Sports. Pingston Water Sports is home to Scotland's only artificial whitewater rafting experience. By offering lessons in a variety of water sports, visitors get a chance to try their hand at different activities in a controlled environment.
So there's a couple of commands to keep you nice and safe. Okay. First of all, if I shout lean in, what do you think you do? Lean in. Yeah. If it's going to be a little bit faster, I'll shout get down. Okay. That is not an excuse to do some 70s funky dancing. Yeah. What you're going to do is slide off the side of the boat, preferably to the inside. Yeah.
Slide in?
And what we're going to do is we're going to crouch down.
After our lesson, we get ready to get in the water. We get a little more than we bargained for when my youngest falls into the water. But we get her out right away, and she is quite the trooper.
Look how brave she is!
I think we've had enough adventure for one day.
That's cold!
Well, that's fun.
I thought it was great.
Let's get changed then and get warm. Yeah, let's get warm. Yeah. Fun, yeah? Okay.
We round out our visit to Glasgow with a relaxing bike ride through Pollock Country Park. With all its natural beauty and eclectic charm, it's clear to see why this 360-acre park was named the best in all of Europe. We come across some spectacular finds, including a secret maze garden, some beautiful horses, the famous Highland cattle, and of course, the breathtaking scenery that makes Scotland a true majestic wonder. The next leg of our journey takes us out of the big city in the lowlands and into the historic countryside of the Scottish Highlands. In the later Middle Ages, the Scottish Highlands diverged from the lowlands. Though the boundaries are not clearly defined, the differences between Glasgow's urban culture and the Highlands' mountainous regions are apparent. The Highlands are also supposedly the home to one of Scotland's greatest mysteries, the Loch Ness Monster. Even though the suspense is killing us, we'll have to wait until the last day of our trip to unravel that mystery. Of course, our trip to Scotland wouldn't be complete without the traditional Scottish kilt. The history of the kilt dates back as far as the 16th century and is firmly rooted in Scottish tradition. Today, my family and I head to Chisholm's kilt makers to get kilts of our very own.
Look at that.
Beautiful. I
Oh,
know.
the dagger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Hi, folks.
How are you? Are you Mr. Chisholm?
I'm Mr. Chisholm.
Finally learning about your heritage instead of mine, right?
Yes, for a change.
Chisholm's has been around for generations, keeping tradition of the kilt alive. At first glance, you may believe that a lot of kilts are the same, but look again. Each one's tartan pattern is unique to its own particular Scottish family, or clan. In the olden days, people would know what part of Scotland you were from based on your family's tartan colors. With Greg's Scottish heritage, we're excited to learn about the tartan of his family, the clan McPherson.
What are you going to wear?
I don't know yet.
Which one's yours?
Greg,
Chisholm.
Oh.
Greg, that's your tartan.
How do you know this is his tartan?
Well, the clan McPherson has its own pattern, its own what we call the set. Every clan had their different thread counts to make up that actual pattern.
It's interesting, huh?
Beautiful. I love it.
I think you'd look good in that.
I do. I like red. Red's my color.
This is your clan red McPherson. And these colorations, these are chemically done today. But the original colors, they would have been done with the vegetable dyes, the local vegetation that was used to dye the yarn. And that coloration that was used was woven into the tartan.
I have a question. Why does everyone have those little bags?
Ah, the little sporrans. Well, that's again, originally that was used by the Highlander to carry his meal, whereas today we use it for carrying our mobile phones, our few pennies that we have.
It's kind of like a man's purse.
That's correct, yes, that's
I have
right.
no-
That carries all our essentials, all our bits and pieces, our mobile phone, etc. Yep.
That'll work for
That
me.
would be your
Yep.
first man purse.
Yes, it will. It will.
Right, Colleen, shall we get Greg dressed up in the kilt?
I think that's a yes.
I'm ready.
What do you think?
Let's
Good
go.
idea.
Yeah, should
yes,
we?
for sure.
We get
Right.
Daddy dressed
Good.
up.
And I've even got kilts for the girls if they wish. You can see later on
Oh, of
if
course.
they want. Yep. Okay.
Of course.
We'll make it a family
good?
thing.
Right, that.
Oh, I love your outfits. You look so good. How do
Hi,
I look?
girls.
Hi.
You're looking good.
This
hey,
is so
wow. That's really smart.
Thank
you feel good?
Yeah.
Ah, that's looking lovely. What about Dad?
Oh, where is
Do you think, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
You look handsome.
Now, my tartan's in red. You dressed me in purple. What's the significance of that?
That's the pride of the Highlands. It's to represent the colorations of Inverness and the Highland area. It's actually taken from the Chisholm tartan, the basis of that, and then the colorations that are used are the purple for the heather and the various other colorations for the local area. And this is what we call the pride of the Highlands tartan. I've also got something else for you, Greg, and this is very important for the Highlander. I'll just get it for you. Just give me a moment. Now,
Ooh,
this
wow.
is your sword, you see, and every Highlander needs one of these. Yes. So therefore, you have that ready, and then what you can also do, you can do your sword dance. Oh. So you have that and your sword dance.
Go ahead, Greg.
And then the hands, Greg, the hands go up like that, you see, and you dance round it. You see? That's it. That's it. That's it.
You got to dance over the sword.
That's right.
Our sword dancing skills might need a little work, but at least we dress for the part. Our next stop in the Highlands is a historic landmark, the Culloden Battlefield and Visitor Center.
When I travel with my daughters, I always want to teach them a little bit about history. So when you come to Scotland in the Highlands, this is the kind of place that you need to see because a lot has happened here. Can you tell me a little bit, John, about what happened here that was so legendary and so important to the Scottish culture?
I certainly can do, yes. We're standing at the battlefield at Culloden. And if you look over here, you can see roughly half the battlefield before you. Just to give you a wee idea, the red flags here are the front line of the British government army. Then away in the distance, just before the trees, you can see the blue flags marking the front line of the Jacobite army. Now these two armies are fighting here at Culloden over who's going to rule Britain. This is not, as many people believe, a battle between Scottish and English for Scottish independence. This is a battle between all of the people of Britain as to which branch of the royal family is going to rule Britain. So it's very much like the American Civil War.
Mm-hmm. So you have to be very, very respectful.
Yes.
But it's also fun too, right? There's things for kids to do here.
We have fun things for kids to do. We can many fun things, not just for kids, but for grown-ups as well. We can have a look at some weapons. We can do some dressing up, do some crafts, all kinds of things available here. And we have a wonderful interactive exhibition below as well. If you like your computers, you like your war game kind of things, we've got plenty of things inside the exhibition.
I know two girls that love computers, and I still like dressing up.
So I think we can sort you something out.
Really?
Yeah.
For the moms too?
Maybe for the mums as well, yes. I think we might have something for you.
All right, it's a family affair.
Shall we get out of the window and go and have a look?
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
There's even a few activities for the dads. Greg gets a chance to take a glimpse at his ancestry and see how the original Scotsmen prepared for battle. Of course, it all starts with the clothes.
So what you need to do is pick yourself a baseline. So I'm going to start with this black line in the tartan here, okay?
Okay.
And I'm going to go forward 2 repeats of that black line. I'm going to pinch, and I'm going to come back to just before, about an inch or so short of the first black line, the baseline. Now on the fold, I will have a new black line. That's going to become a new baseline. Go forward 2 repeats, back. What I'm going to ask you to do in a moment is lie down on your back, over the pleats.
Does my wife usually do this to me?
You'd be doing this yourself.
What?
Now, if you want to get your belt tight up nice and tight, there's lots of spare fabric all the way around the back here. Now, in bad weather, and believe me, it does occasionally rain in Scotland, this comes up over you like a cape. Now we've got you dressed, you're going to need some weapons. But the first one I'm going to give you, first one I'm going to give you is actually more of a tool than a weapon. That normally lives in like so. Then you're going to need something really to defend yourself with. And over here, we have a Highland targe. Now a targe is effectively a good sturdy wooden shield. You can see it's covered in leather, studded in brass. The more ornate the pattern on the front, the richer and wealthier you are. So you're pretty rich, you're doing very well for yourself. This is your main offensive weapon. You've got about a yard or a metre of good cutting steel. So you're going to hold that targe in front of your body, protect the main part of your body, your torso.
Once Greg is dressed and ready for battle, we have a little surprise for him.
So, Greg, we've been having some fun getting you dressed up as a clansman, showing you how the weapons you would have used here at Culloden. But whilst we've been doing that, there's been a couple of quite important visitors here at Culloden that I'd like you to meet. So, are you ready to meet?
I am ready.
You ready to meet Clan Chief's wife?
I am.
Okay, if you want to have a look over here. And her daughters.
The debutante. Whoa, look at me.
Oh, you look good.
I survived the battle.
I love it. So what do you think?
I love it. It's beautiful.
Would you fight for me?
We'll fight to the death.
Oh.
Okay, let's try you with the targe. Okay, young lady. Are you left or right-handed? So I'd like the left arm through there. You grab hold of that handle with your left hand. And that's it, perfect. Okay, now, real sword. Okay, it's not a lightsaber. You are not Princess Leia. What you want to do now is look at your dad and ask him for some more allowance.
Can I have more allowance?
I would, but I have no pockets.
One of Scotland's biggest claims to fame are the Highland Games, a sporting event held in the Highlands every spring and summer. This national competition dates back to the 11th century, and it is still a big part of Scottish culture today, with athletes, dancers, and even performers competing in an Olympian fashion for the top titles. We head over to the Achnagairn Castle to get a lesson in a few traditional Highland games.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, guys?
Great. Awesome. We're excited.
Good. Welcome.
Colleen, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you. And good to meet you. Good to meet you. I'm Malcolm. I work for Boots and Paddles, and today we're going to do a Highland Games, just like we do in Scotland. Would you like to come over this way? Okay, Donovan. We're going to start with a shot put for you. This is a shot put. We actually use stones in Scotland, but we standardise it for the weight, and especially for youngsters. It goes onto the fingertips, not onto the hand, and push it into your neck. Come back into position to throw, and then follow through, push it to the leg and the hip.
Whoa.
Okay.
You can do
You're
it.
not allowed to beat that.
That's pretty far.
Good. Push. There you go.
Woo! Nice job.
It's hard.
Jay,
Who's next?
come on.
You can do it.
Yeah. Push
You got it?
hard. Come on. Yes.
You beat your sister.
Well done.
That's Mom's turn.
Good throw.
My turn? Okay. Wait, how do I do this? I lean back here.
Fingertips.
In the
Oh,
neck.
fingertips.
Elbow up.
Whoa!
And the winner is Donovan. Well done.
Woo! Good job.
Congratulations.
So what's next?
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We're going to do the wellie chuck next.
What's a wellie?
A wellie is short for a Wellington boot.
And what are you going to do with the wellies?
This is a sport here?
This is a sport, yeah, absolutely. You can hold it 2 or 3 different ways. You can grip it like this. You can put your thumb inside and throw it, foot forward, whatever takes your fancy. So you go into power position, same as the last event, and you're taking it from low to high, low to high and back to front. Do that 2 or 3 times, then you're going to let go.
This is a game.
Oh, you stood up! Look at that!
This is a game.
Look at it!
This is a game at the Highland
Oh.
Games.
You stood up! You win!
I get extra points for that.
Yeah.
All right, Shay, you're up.
All right. Woo! Go
on,
Shay.
Shay.
Get up towards that tree.
Woo! Ooh, that went far. Okay. You ready?
3
You
times.
might want to back up.
Launch it.
You too. Oh!
I'm glad I moved.
Whoa!
Stand up.
Oh! That was good.
Much better.
Among other games, we try our hand at the weight throw.
This is a ladies one.
Heavy.
Yes.
Just
this
half
is
the
the
weight.
ladies one.
It's a ladies
Oh my
one. It's
goodness.
half the weight, 14
Oh.
pounds.
And the caper toss.
Right, come through.
Push up, up, up. Come on.
Oh.
Boots and Paddles offers lessons in these games to visitors of all ages. I'm not sure we're ready to compete, but we'd be thrilled to join the 23,000 spectators who gather to watch the Highland Games every year. To round out our exciting day in the Highlands, we get to enjoy dinner and a show. On the menu tonight is a Scottish favorite.
Join with us and toast the haggis.
Haggis, Scotland's traditional dish, is a pudding made from the heart, liver, and lungs of a sheep mixed with oatmeal and various spices. Traditionally, it is encased in the animal's stomach and cooked. I've always thought of myself as an adventurous eater, but this is my first time trying haggis. Our verdict?
Excellent.
I think Shay likes it.
She does like it.
Let's toast to a Scottish tradition and trying new foods. Good job, girls. Yeah. Cheers.
Of course, our meal would be incomplete without some traditional Highland dancing. Highland dancing first developed in the 19th and 20th century. It is well known as a skilled sport in Scotland. with these talented dancers even competing in the Highland Games. You've heard the rumors. You've seen the photos. There's something dark lurking in the waters of Loch Ness. The Loch Ness Monster. Or Nessie, as some like to call her. With all the mysterious sightings, we have a few questions. And maybe today we'll get some answers.
Okay, girls, I found somebody for you. Here's an expert. Adrian,
Hello.
nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, I work on the loch and I'll answer your questions if I possibly can. Hello, Shane.
Well, we've got a lot of questions.
Gentlemen. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Well, why don't you come out on the loch now?
Okay.
Let's go.
Loch Ness expert Adrian Shine has been searching for Nessie for over 40 years. And he knows just about everything there is to know about the lake and its mysteries.
So, Adrian, my girls have a ton of questions that I couldn't answer about Loch Ness. Can you help us?
Well, we'll do our best.
Okay.
What's first?
How big is the lake?
Well, it's about just over 23 miles along it, okay, and about a mile across it. And you're probably going to ask me how deep it is.
That's a big question.
That's, yeah, it's 754 feet deep. So that is quite a long way. You could actually put every human being on Earth into Loch Ness 3 times over and more.
Really?
Yes, you could. There's
That's
more
how deep it
water
is.
in this one Scottish loch than there is in the whole of England and Wales put together.
Oh, I had no idea.
So you've got a lot of water and quite a lot of room for mysteries.
And there's a lot of mysteries here, right?
It's taken a long time to try and understand part of it, if you like.
And this is this has been your life work, right?
I suppose
The
it
Loch
is
Ness
really, yes.
Loch.
And in the 1960s, the Loch Ness investigation started with a member of Parliament called David James, and he put cameras all the way along this shoreline for 10 summers, trying to repeat the pictures that have been taken and are the things that we argue about even now. But one thing is fairly clear is that over 1,000 people insist they have seen large animals here. And they're not drunk, and we think they're honest. But when the scientific expeditions come, including my own, we don't really find Loch Ness monsters. And so the sorts of questions we're asking now are, what is it about this place? What's special about this place that makes people see monsters?
So are we going to see Nessie here, or?
Well, let's keep our eyes open, and you never know.
The legend of Nessie dates back over 1,500 years. With so many people having claimed to see this mysterious creature, the legend lives on. But be careful. Some signs of Nessie may just be a trick of the eye.
Now, if you look behind, what you can see, it's not ideal today, but
It's Nessie.
that boat, yeah, well, it is a line of humps, isn't it?
It does look like that.
And they look dark, and the water's foaming off them. That,
It's moving.
if this was a calm day, and that wake was further away, and you couldn't see the beginning of it, and you couldn't see the end of it, because sometimes you can't, then that would be a very good sea serpent.
You think that would look like a sea serpent, girls?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Would be a good one, wouldn't it? And there are other things too. But, well, we're still looking, aren't we? We still love there to be something.
Well, not many people have seen Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, right?
Well,
So,
more people have seen the Loch Ness Monster.
okay, well, there you go. I think that kind of proves the theory right there. Nessie does exist.
Even though we don't get lucky enough to catch a glimpse of the Loch Ness Monster on our tour, we still learn plenty about her history and the history of Loch Ness. My guess? Nessie is just a little camera shy. We round out our vacation with a little fun and dancing at one of the Highlands' most popular pubs. They say there's nothing quite like a night on the town to soak up the local color. And in Inverness, there's hardly a place more colorful than the Hootenanny. In order to get into the Scottish spirit, we have to learn a few moves ourselves. And I've got a great teacher. What a great way to spend our last evening in Scotland, dancing with some old friends and some new. My family and I don't want the fun to end. We have experienced so much here in Scotland. We'll learn the history of the kilt, practice for the Highland Games, tasted some unique food, and even searched for the elusive Loch Ness monster. If we have our way, we'll definitely return soon. Or as the Scottish say, haste ye back.
Thanks for watching Family Travel in Scotland. I'm Colleen Kelly. Enjoy making memories on your next family vacation.
Colleen, let's go shooking.
Okay. Oh, I was on form.
It did slip. Perfect.
I'm Colleen Kelly. Welcome to my kingdom. I'm kidding. I'm just visiting. Look at him looking at you.
Whoa. Looks so mad.
Hi. I hope he doesn't charge us. Here I go. This is what you do in Scotland. Woo!
Funding provided by...
Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Is this my car?
This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Ah!
From car insurance to car loans, State Farm is here to help life go right.
For more information on upcoming destinations and projects, visit familytravelck.com. Follow us on Twitter and find us on Facebook. We'd love to hear from you.